What's up guys, my name is Julie and this is the Curated Curvy, where I bring you along for the journey as I attempt to create the curated wardrobe of my dreams with these two hands. And today I have for you all a Friday Says video. So this week we are going to go over some recent makes. We're going to talk about some ready to wear pieces that I thrifted that I am very excited about and what patterns I could use to possibly recreate those in my wardrobe, and a little bit of self-drafting. So let's get into it. And so one of the things that is definitely lacking in my wardrobe are sweaters. I do have quite a few knits in my stash, so it's not for lack of like fabric or patterns and just a lack of making. I realized that one of the big problems that I have in my sewing is I really like to sew summer, spring appropriate attire all year long, and when it gets really cold, that always comes back to bite me in the butt. So I went ahead, took the plunge, pulled out a pattern from my stash, and I sewed up Simplicity 8738. So this is Simplicity 8738. Unfortunately, this pattern has been discontinued. I know, because when you type in the numbers onto like your Google search engine, it does not come up on the Simplicity website anymore. However, this pattern still is in stock on the Joann's website as well as on Amazon. So you can still purchase it, just not directly from Simplicity, and it's not something that you'll probably be able to get on one of those pattern sales. Now, for Simplicity 8738, the pattern runs in a size extra small to extra large. I usually sew a large. I sized up one and I sewed an extra large. Really simple pattern, 4 pieces. It has your front, your back, your sleeves, and your neck. Has like a funnel neck or a really deep, you can see it here, a really deep roll neck. It also has different variations. I sewed the same variation for both. I'll try that on and show it to you right now. All right, so this is the sweater, Simplicity, as I said, 8738. It is in this super cozy, gorgeous Chanel fabric that I picked up on clearance from Hobby Lobby in November. We talked a lot about this fabric on this channel. You've seen it before, you know I love it. I absolutely do. It is so cozy and so warm and so snuggly. And what I found was, because of like the nature of the fabric, it is a little bit like bulky, and so it can hold volume pretty well. So if I do like a nice tuck, because as you can see, this sweater is pretty long, so if I do like a little nice side tuck, it kind of holds it nicely. It's not too droopy. It's really fun. Like I mentioned before, I did size up with this pattern, so I went ahead and I cut out and sewed the size extra large, which it definitely is oversized and comfortable and cozy, but I really like it. Left the sleeves really long. I didn't take in the allotted hem just because I like for them to kind of go over my hands like so, and then if I'm doing something that requires like the full use of my hands, I can just roll them up and they're out of the way. The pattern does also include a keyhole detail to put your thumbs through, but I omitted that because when I was sewing this, I just kind of wanted to get like it done. I wanted a quick project, so I came in, whipped it out. I didn't add any of the bells and whistles, and that was probably one of the reasons why I was able to sew it up so quick. I actually made 2 of these in one afternoon. Same fabric, same pattern, same size, and one of them was gifted to someone else, just as a, you know, hey friend gift, and I kept the other one for myself. After this one and making this and loving it and probably wearing it, not exaggerating, for 2 days in a row, I figured it'd be best that I go into my stash, find another fabric, and make another one so as to not wear this one to death before the winter season has even reached its peak. And I did that, so let me show you that one. All right, so this is, oh, what's my hair doing? All right, so this one is the next one that I sewed up. It is from this navy blue cable knit printed fabric that I picked up from Joann's. I actually have this fabric in the pink colorway, and I've made a few things with that. One of them you've already seen, which was my crops cardigan. This one, like I said, same fabric, navy blue. Made the same sweater. This fabric actually behaves a lot differently with this pattern, so it is a lot more drapey, therefore it hangs like a lot, like I guess closer to my body, whereas this one, since it is like a little bit bulky, kind of stands away from the body and has a little bit of volume, which I am biased towards because we love volume around here. Whereas, as I mentioned, this one kind of just drapes and falls on the body, so I did end up having to take in the sleeves a lot so that they weren't completely like hanging over my hands like wobbly hands people. But I have worn both of these. I actually, before beginning to record this video, had to go grab them out of my laundry bin because they had just been washed so that I can continue wearing them probably for the rest of the week, as long as it is as cold as it is right now. You'll probably find me in one of these. Let me take this off because it's actually not that cold in here right now, and I don't want to start sweating while I'm recording. All right, that's better. Now, those are my hits so far for the month. Let's talk about a miss. So this is Simplicity 9374, and it actually looks really cute on the hanger, like looking at the reflection of it. If you follow me on Instagram, then you would have seen the chronicles of me making this. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go over on Instagram and give me a follow. It is literally the same name on Instagram, The Curated Curvy, no spaces, no nothing. Just me. So yeah, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen the process of me making this. It is supposed to be like a cropped sweater vest. I've been seeing these on Pinterest a lot, and I've really been liking the vibe and the aesthetic that they're giving off. And I've had this pattern in my stash for a couple of seasons now, so I figured I'd pull it out and give it a go. I'm now just realizing that this is actually the pink colorway of that blue fabric in the last sweater that I just showed you. So like I said, I pulled this out of my stash. I decided to give it a go, and I don't love it. Let me show you what it looks like on. This is not the right outfit to pair with it, so bear with me on that, but I'm not changing my clothes. Okay, so this is what it looks like on. And honestly, now looking at it again, it made me a situation of sometimes you just need to step away and like reevaluate, because I don't hate it and I could see me styling this in a really cool and interesting way. I think another thing that I'm realizing now is when I tried it on before, I didn't have a fitted top. I had kind of like a baggy oversized shirt on underneath it, and I do think that affected maybe the way that I was looking at it. But looking at it now, I don't hate it. A few things or critiques that I still do have about it is I would definitely size down. I think it's just a little too roomy. If it were something, you know, like this, I feel like that might be a little bit more like my speed and what I was looking for in this. But like I said, looking at it now and like the viewfinder, I'm not hating it, and it's definitely something that maybe I'll pull out and try like styling in different ways and seeing if I can come up with a style solution for it. I don't know, but like I said, looking at it now in the camera, it's definitely something that I'd be interested in playing around with more, but that does not move it from a miss to a hit just yet. We're still cautious. We don't know if we're gonna love it. Another thing that I want to bring into my Friday sews is accountability. If you're watching this video, 9 times out of 10 you too are a seamstress, and so we're all watching to be inspired, and hopefully this year y'all can keep me a little bit accountable for some of my goals and actually reaching them. One of the goals that I set for myself for sewing this year was to sew 43 new patterns, so as to begin to use the patterns in my stash and not continue to bring patterns into my home and then hoard them in my garage without them ever seeing the light of day. So for that goal this month, I have sewn 2 patterns from my stash that I had never sewn before. One was the one that I just showed you, 9374, and then another one was the Nomi pattern 2003. I don't think I have a picture of it. If I do, I will pop it up, but that pattern I will talk about more on my month of sewing review come hopefully, fingers crossed, the first week of February. So 2 out of 43, we're down now to 41 new to me patterns. I think I need to pick up the pace on that a little bit. Yeah, hopefully February will be a little better for that. Next, I did do some self-drafting this week. I do love to do self-drafting, as you probably noticed in my top 10 makes of the year video, as well as my everything that I made in the year of 2022. I do tend to self-draft quite a lot, and it's not something that I talked about much on this channel before, so that is something that I want to bring to you all as I am making things. Now, this pattern that I am currently working on is a part of another goal that I have, which is to release my first pattern onto Etsy, out into the internet streets this year. So hopefully I can get my life together and this will be my first spring summer release. It still needs quite a few iterations, but I'll show you guys what I got so far. You can tell me what you think, maybe what I could add to it to fix some of the problems that I'm having. I guess I should show it on you. I should show it on me, and then we can talk about it from there. Okay, again, you have to forgive me because it's cold and so I refuse to completely undress. So I'm just throwing everything over my base layer today, but this is the pattern so far. It is kind of like an umpire waist. It has a ruffle, giant puffy sleeves. I did do a little baby cuff on the sleeves, and then the back is just joined together. I hope this is down correctly. There we go. And then the back is just joined together via ties. So this unties and then it opens completely up. So this is where we're at so far. The bodice is lined. The sleeves are gigantic, but you know, love a good puffy sleeve. The problem that I am having is that this portion, if I weren't wearing the shirt underneath, would not stay on my shoulder. Like it keeps wanting to fall off of the shoulder, and it's not an off the shoulder top. Now that could be because the sleeves are so huge, but I also think it's because I've made the back so low that there's nothing to support these like super thin straps, because the straps are pretty thin around here on the top. So what I'm thinking is to add a tie across right here, so a tie higher up, and then keep these two ties there, and then that tie would support these straps and keep them from falling off my shoulders. I don't know if that would work quite the way I'm thinking, so I would love to hear you guys' feedback on that and input in the comments below, or if you have any other ideas of what I could do to help this stay like up on my shoulders. I'm also thinking I'll have to raise this portion just a smidge, because where she's sitting now, she can be a little cleavage-tastic, and you know, we want to keep the goods covered. That is what we want to do. So yeah, this is the first thing that I have self-drafted this month, and I'm probably going to get back to work on this weekend and just keep working on the pattern and tweaking it until I get the version of it that I feel like is good enough to then figure out how to digitize, because I don't know how to do that either. All right, lastly for Friday sews, I have some recent acquisitions, but they are clothing that has really inspired me, and I think is going to inform a little bit of my sewing in the very near future. So the first thing that I want to talk about that I thrifted recently, this racerback turtleneck top. It was originally from Abercrombie & Fitch. I thrifted it for $5 yesterday at my local Goodwill, and I really love this as a layering piece. So if you've been watching this channel for a while, if you haven't, I like to wear everything pretty high-waisted. It's just one of the ways that I attempt to more accentuate my shape. I find it flattering on me. I like the way silhouettes look when they're usually high-waisted. So I usually have a crop shirt to go with it, because there's no sense in having like a longer shirt with high-waisted pants or skirts, and I don't tend to tuck my things in as much. So this is actually the perfect length to like layer over my pants and my shirts. Perfectly cropped, super fitted, and it has a turtleneck. It reminds me of my racerback tanks that I was making, or the two that I made last year, but just kind of like a little bit winterized, and still it's a layering piece. I'm not going to wear this as is, but it's a really solid layering piece. Since I already have the racerback tank pattern, I don't know if I want to go the route of rubbing this off, or if I just want to attempt to draft like some sort of mock neck for my racerback tank so that I can get a few more of these. But this is something that I purchased recently that is definitely going to inform my sewing, like I said, in the near future. The next thing was a pair of trousers. So I am curvy, so it can be a little bit tricky trying to find bottoms that I feel like are flattering on me. And on Pinterest, the girlies have been really into like these dad trousers. That's kind of what I'm calling them, and I've been on the hunt for them. But if you are a little on the curvier side, then you know that sometimes thrifting the things that you are really interested in isn't that hard or isn't that easy in terms of bottoms, because there just doesn't seem to be a surplus of bottoms that are usually in my size, which would be anywhere from a 16 or to an 18 in the thrift store. But yesterday we found these trousers. They are brown in this gorgeous suede material. They do have a regular waistband or a fly front, and they don't have a button. They're just closed by a snap belt loops. And then really interesting is each side just has a piece of elastic on the side. These are definitely a vintage pair of pants. They are from White Stag Women. They are a size 20, so they're a little bit roomy on me, but I really like the fit of them. And these I feel like was a good way for me to dip my toe into that like trouser pool and see what I thought about it. I actually am very surprised at how much I like this silhouette as well. And so a pattern that I am thinking about for recreating these is the Vicky Sews, I want to say it's the Adeline trouser, which I have actually purchased, and I purchased quite some time ago. So it'd be really good to get those sewn up. It's more of a tapered leg. These aren't too tapered, but I was surprised at how much I like them, because usually I like my pants to fit wide-legged. So like I said, this is giving me the confidence to try out a different silhouette in terms of pants. Now, pants, it's gonna be a journey, because I am still having to get over that apprehension of trying to fit them to the lower half of my body. I have mastered the fit of dresses and tops on me. Pants will be pants. So it's gonna be a hump, you know, trying to get there and work up the courage to do it. But like I said, the Vicky So's Adeline trouser I feel like would be a really good start. A different silhouette. I don't know why I purchased this pattern originally, because I've had it for maybe 5 or 6 months now, and it's not a silhouette that I would usually try. It's not even a silhouette I would ever wear, but having worn these pants and thrifting them and seeing that I like the way they fit on my body and feel on my body, I'm definitely interested in sewing that up in the near future. All right, lovely peoples, and that is it for today's Friday Sis. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Quick update for those of you who stayed this long in the video, you must be like slightly invested in me and what's going on here. I never did get to fill you in on why I was like so absent in December, but basically for the entire month of December, someone in my house was unwell. Yeah, December is also my birthday month, and it's also Christmas, so it was a doozy. I am surprised that I cranked out the 3 videos that I did in December, but even those were a struggle. And even now, trying to get back into the rhythm of making videos and getting them out there is a little slower than usual, because while everything is like getting back to normal in terms of like our day-to-day routines, I am still trying to piece back together our house and get everything functioning the way that it ought to function before we had that entire month where it's basically we were wiped out. So content has been a little slow this month. Bear with me. I feel like I'm getting back into a rhythm of things. I've really honestly just been coming in here and sewing without the camera, without trying to record, really just for like my mental, just being able to come in and create and do something that allows me to zone out. I feel like I'm kind of getting out of the fog now and out of the rut, and like I'm healing from whatever happened in December. All right, guys, and that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, stay beautiful and make great things. Bye.